I want to give you a chance to express anything that we didn't cover that you'd like our listeners to know, and I want to give you that opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Well, look, I've enjoyed this conversation. I appreciate you taking the time. It's great to be out here in the Panhandle. I love coming out to Amarillo. Look, what I would tell you is, I remember we talked about my time in the military, and I reflect now on the first time I ever swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution. I was 22 years old, and I raised my right hand as a brand new lieutenant, and I swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And as somebody who ultimately deployed to Afghanistan, who grew up in that era of the war on terror, I primarily thought about the foreign enemies to our Constitution. The next time that I swore that oath was in the West Wing with my wife and 4 kids on my left and the United States Attorney General on my right. And I raised my right hand. I wasn't in uniform anymore. I was, wearing a suit and a tie. And I said the exact same oath. Same oath, word for word, both as a Marine officer and a senior executive at the United States Department of Justice. And I had come to really appreciate by that moment, in those intervening nearly 20 years, that even though we do have major foreign threats to the Constitution, we've talked about some of them today on this interview. The primary threats that we are dealing with today, in my view, are the domestic enemies of the Constitution. And they are fighting a bloody war against everything that we hold dear as conservative Republicans up and down the chain of the justice system. The arena in which I have sustained many battle scars, won many wars, earned many ribbons for valor, if you want to call them that, right, is in the legal system. We need a lawyer, a chief legal officer of Texas, who is ready to lead those battalions of law enforcement officers, litigators, appellate attorneys, defense attorneys to fight back against the left that is at war with us in the justice system. I believe I'm ideally suited to do that. It's my record fighting those fights that led President Trump to describe me as a true MAGA attorney and a warrior for the Constitution. It's why Paxton endorsed me to succeed him as the next Attorney General, saying Aaron Reitz is the only qualified candidate in this race, and then setting forth my record going to war in the justice system against big tech, big pharma, the Biden administration, leftists, liberals, socialists, everywhere on every major issue. The time has now come for voters to choose their next attorney general. So the only choice right now that Republicans have is to choose the best Republican to lead this fight into the future. I believe that that's me. And so I would encourage people to vote Aaron Reitz for Attorney General. They could learn more about me on my website, aaronreitz.com, aaronreitz.com. Follow me on social media. Just search for Aaron Reitz, Aaronreitz.